What's up guys, my name is Carl and welcome back to Tech Hunter. I'm outside in the studio today and there is a hell of a storm going on outside. So if you can hear that, I'm going to apologize now, but if you don't hear it and the music kind of blurs it out, then we're all good. But let's get back to the point. So I've got some new lights set up behind me. They are the Yeelights. I saw Linus Tech Tips did a video on these and they're pretty much as good as a Philips Hue, but they cost me around £12 on AliExpress around Black Friday. I think they're usually around £18 on AliExpress or about £30 on Amazon. So definitely worth checking out if you're not in a rush to get them straight away. Wait a couple weeks and they turn up and they work pretty well. They're in some Tomons lamps, so nice little shades, nice little kind of wood effect. I'm not sure what it is, beech, pine? No, not pine, pine's dark. Kind of beech effect, I think, and a white shade. Obviously the lights poke out a little bit out of the shade, which I'm unsure of whether I like that or not yet, but we'll address that in the future. I've also managed to get my kind of LED strips on my desks. They're also now app controlled as well. So my smartphone can control those lamps and the RGB strip. So I may have to look into getting a Google Home or Amazon Echo just to kind of make it that one step easier, just so I can come in and get Google or Alexa to turn the lights on. But more importantly, let's move on to the more exciting stuff. So set beside me is some PC upgrades. My personal rig is rocking 16 gigs of RAM, i7 6700K and a GTX 1070 right now. That's about to change. We're getting a bit of an upgrade. We've got some Trident C RGB RAM. We've got 32 gigs of that. I'll be honest, when I'm editing, Premiere is devouring my RAM at the moment. So I feel like another 16 gigs in there to bump me up to 32 is what I need to make my life a little bit easier. Obviously with some effects and color grading going on, it starts to slow down a little bit, my old PC. So it needs a little bit of life. So 32 gigs of that beautiful, gorgeous stuff should do a good job. This one is the most controversial one. This is an RTX 2080 from Zotac. I bought this, it's an X-Display model, which basically means the tabs on the side have been cut. And that's about it. So obviously it's been on display in a store, the eBuyer store. I don't know where that is, somewhere up north in the UK. And it's pretty much brand new inside. I did take it out to have a quick look at it just to make sure everything's fine. Unboxed it and had a look and it looks pretty good. It's no scratches, no nothing on there. It's just the tabs had been cut on the box. So this cost me £620 for a RTX 2080. Go online, have a look right now in the UK pricing anyway, if you can find an RTX 2080 for less than that. If you can, and it's kind of comes with a warranty from a store, then I'll be very, very surprised. So I'm kind of happy with this. I got this as a good price, a good deal, and it is a lot of money. It's the most I've ever spent on a graphics card, and I recently did a video kind of complaining about the pricing of these cards. So if you've not seen that, check that out. But I wanted an upgrade. I've been playing, what is it, Assassin's Creed Origins on my PC, on my Acer Predator X34P. So that's a 1440p ultra wide 120 Hz monitor. And I'm hitting around 40 to 50 FPS on kind of ultra settings. And it's a little bit disappointing. I've got, a lot of people do it the other way around. It's a lot of people that will have, say, maybe a 1080 or a 1080 Ti, and they'll pair it with like a basic bitch 1080p monitor. And they'll be like, yeah, damn, look at me, 60 Hertz, 1080 Ti, look at all this FPS I'm wasting because I can't actually see it because of the refresh rate of my monitor. I'm the other way around. I'm the guy who spent loads of money on a monitor and I do not have a PC to back it up. I did it a few years ago with a 4K monitor when I was running my GTX 980 Ti, pretty much the same card as a 1070. And it was a bit of a, I don't know, I like things to look nice. I like looking at pretty screens. And if my games don't match it, at least Chrome looks nice, or I don't know, Excel looks nice on a nice ultra-wide monitor. Games look crap, but Excel looks great. So it's time for me to address that. So I picked up this Zotac card and I'm excited to get it all into my build. So my little rig, she's going strong. She's got the new fans from Arctic in there, keeping her cooler than before. And I feel like she needs a bit of an upgrade. It could be a while before I look at getting a new CPU. I was contemplating getting the 2700X around September time, but then Intel released their 9900K and I considered that. Then they confirmed the price of the 9900K and I was like, no thank you. Then I've just seen that AMD are launching their kind of Zen 2 architecture in kind of the early part of next year, probably around March again, which is when they released the previous 2 generations of Ryzen. And I'll be honest, I'm a little bit excited for that. They're looking at getting 5 gigahertz on these new CPUs, which is unbelievable for the Ryzen CPUs. And also adding more cores and more threads. There's talk about maybe even kind of mainstream, so the Ryzen 7 or even the Ryzen 9, which is kind of not confirmed yet, looking at getting around 5 gigahertz on around 16 cores or even 12 cores and 24 threads, which is going to be absolutely insane if they can achieve that. But I'm going to wait for that, if I'm honest. I could get, let's say, a 2700X now and then just kind of plop in the new Ryzen chip as it is going to be compatible with the same socket, but I'll give it a miss for now and I'll just wait. I'll wait. That's what I'm going to do. And no doubt Intel will probably bring out something around the same time and I'll be like, you know what, I want that now. And you keep going on with this kind of, do I want this, do I want that? So you just buy it one day and then you get a bit annoyed when the new one comes out 3 months later and you're really pissed off with how much money you wasted. Anyway, 32 gigs of RAM, DDR4, DDR5 isn't coming out anytime soon. NVIDIA RTX 2080, a new card's not coming out anytime soon. It's going to be around the kind of same price as this, unless AMD release something soon. Their Navi card's meant to be out. Oh, who cares? Like, literally, you can never win when it comes to PC components. So I've got this stuff, I'm going to put it in my PC, and it's going to be better than before, and I don't care. So come along with me. We need to do a bit of cable management again, because obviously we've only got the 8-pin in there. We're going to need an 8+6 for this, and I need to find my other black and red sleeve cables. So let's get started on that. Right guys, so as you can see, we are back up and running. I've got the extra 6-pin cable run in. I've got, actually it was just the old 8-pin cable. I've just left the other 2 pins in the basement below. So don't look down there, don't look behind there, it looks awful at the moment. There's a lot of extra spare cables in my system. I think a lot of it is to do with the Q Plus lighting kit from NZXT. That is, I think, the main culprit. But obviously there's a few other things in there, but that's not important. We've got the color changing setup on the Zotac gaming card. The GeForce RTX 2080 is running as it should be. In the kind of brief 5 minutes I was using it just to kind of get the lighting working, and I quickly tested it on, I think it was Counter-Strike, just to see what we're boosting up to. And we're boosting up to around 1995 megahertz, which is more than the 1830 that it said out of the box, so that's pretty good factory kind of boosting. And obviously we can hopefully overclock that in the future. I'll maybe look at that in a separate video and see what we can come up with. The G-Skill RAM is all in there, it's all lighting up, it's completely out of sync. I think one of them is really kind of delayed compared to the others. It's not a nice even flow kind of default motion, but unfortunately my Z170 motherboard does not have ASUS or a sync. I think there was kind of a later version of this same motherboard, the Maximus Hero 8? I think it's 8. The Maximus Hero 8, I think there was a later version which did come out with ASUS or a sync. So I think that was the first motherboard to have it. But I've got the kind of pre-Aura Sync, pre-RGB craze motherboard, so I need to, I'll be stuck with that outer sync kind of animation for a while until I look at upgrading that in the future. So we've got the 2080 and an extra 16 gigs of RAM thrown into this system. Hopefully that'll make things a little bit smoother regarding my video editing, because I think the GPU does do quite a bit of work with Adobe Premiere, and also the 32 gigs of RAM should kind of leave me a bit more room to kind of do things at the same time as Premiere. So maybe while something's working in the background, I can then move my kind of interest, or I can start doing something different at the same time, or not get worried by having kind of Premiere and Photoshop open at the same time and start thinking, oh crap, it's starting to slow down now. I should be good to go. And then, so I think it's time for me to end this video here. I need to edit this, and as well as a few other things I need to get sorted, and I'll see you guys in the next one. If you like this kind of video, feel free to click that like button down below. If you didn't, click that dislike button. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you thought about today's video, what you think about my choices, and if my face hasn't offended you, don't forget to click that subscribe button so we can see each other again very, very soon. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.